We've only been home for 2 weeks, but we're already packing for another trip. And I thought this might be a good time to share with you some of the things that worked in our trip to Alaska and some of the things that didn't work. 2 weeks is almost not enough time to get everything done that needs to be done before we head out again. And that's mostly because we were gone for so long. But we had the van serviced, so we had an oil change done. I do it every 10,000 miles, and I send it into Blackstone for an analysis. So I'll let you know what the analysis says when we get it back. We also took the vehicle into Pleasureway, our local dealer, because we had an issue. We had a couple of issues. One, the smoke detector would go off for, not the smoke detector, the CO2 detector would go off for no apparent reason. And we met another woman up in Alaska, and that was happening to her as well. She has the longer version, Pleasureway. And so we had them switch that out. Now there's only a 1-year warranty on the CO2 detector, so it was $150 to replace that. And then the other problem, which is kind of a bigger issue for us, was the bed. The bed stopped working, and it was making a rather obnoxious noise in trying to retract or extend. It is just one side of the bed, so it's one of the gears. It's the side I sleep on, which meant that we couldn't get it. It happened the last week of our trip, so it was not that big a deal. But my side of the bed was up about 2 inches or so, and so I was kind of sleeping on a bit of an angle, and there was a gap between the ottoman part and the cushion part. And so when we took it into the dealer, they said it would take about 2 weeks to get the part. And I decided that we would hold off, and we were leaving too fast. So I decided to hold off on having them order it, and I would do a little bit of research on the part itself, because that seemed, I don't know what the price was, but it, they were going to order it through Pleasureway, and that seemed like rather circuitous way of getting a part that is made in the USA. I believe the company is in Indiana, or at least that's what our research indicated. Pleasureway told us the part numbers, and there are actually 4 different part numbers for the bed. We're not sure exactly which part is not working. It could be either the left-hand gear or the right hand. It could be the motor. It could be the cables. But whatever it is, we are waiting to hear from our local dealer to tell us what part it was. And then in doing research on Atwood, which is the company that makes it, it looks like Atwood, it was either bought by Dometic or they were bought by another company, but we couldn't quite figure that out. And since it's a holiday weekend, we're not really, able to find out what we want. So we'll just hold off on that until we have the answers, and then I'll show you. I did take some video of the noise that it was making. And when we get it fixed, I'll share, the costs and all of that. But one thing you need to know is that the bed mechanism is only warranted for 1 year, which to me is extremely disappointing, because it's something that I think it should be warranted much longer than that. It's something that you use every single day, twice a day, and that just seemed rather, I don't know. It's like they almost know they have a problem with it, and so they keep the warranty really short. Anyway, we'll figure that one out. And so right now the bed is completely flat. We cannot move it up, but it's at least we can sleep on it. So that was the one thing that failed on the trip that was kind of an issue. But as far as things that worked really well, the cab, the shelf over the cab, has been absolutely a game changer. And as I mentioned in the video that I did when we installed the shelf, the idea came from George at Humble Road, and it worked really well, although it would have a tendency to shift a little bit. We really couldn't get the screw tight enough so that it would not shift a little bit. And there was a gap between the front and the shelf, and so occasionally you had to be careful of how you loaded it So I put big bedding items up there. Otherwise, things would fall down on the driver and the passenger. So when we got back, one of the first videos I saw was one done by Explorist. Are they called Explorist Life? I don't know. I'll put the link below. They did a video on a shelf kit that they had purchased. It's from Vancillary, I think it was called. And it's it comes with 4 brackets and the hardware, and then a template to cut out the plywood shelf. Now the only issue, and let me shoot this, I'll shoot the forward looking picture here. And the shelf then goes all the way to the front, so there's no gap, which is great. But the only problem with it is it actually sits higher. It sits higher on these brackets that it comes with than the old shelf. So there's a little bit less storage depth-wise, but there's a little bit more in the going back to the front of the headliner. There's another problem with this. When I put the template over the plywood, 1/2 inch thick plywood, and I think we probably put this thing in a minimum of 15 times. Each time I was shaving down a little bit more and a little bit more in the width and the depth. And till finally 15 to probably even 20 times later, we finally got it in. I took at least a 1/2 inch off in probably all those dimensions, maybe even more on the width, which got me to thinking that these brackets sit a little too high. I think if they were like a 1/2 inch shorter, then the template probably would have fit this area perfectly. So that was a bit of a struggle. And I was planning on covering it with fabric the way that they did in the video, but decided we would wait and kind of see how things work before that, because I kind of like having the hard surface, being able to just, and I could screw through fabric as well, but I kind of like having the ability to put my GoPro mount on that board and screw other things into it as well for storage. But anyway, so that shelf has worked out beautifully. Waiting at the depot. So I cut 1 inch around the paper, and then I ironed it so it would take out some of the wrinkles. And I've placed there's one straight edge, and I put that straight edge along the straight edge of the piece of plywood. Now, a couple other things that worked really well. The foam pad that I had, so I had like 3 projects when we got home, no, 4 projects. And I bought a new sheet that matches the other twin sheet that goes over the sofa bed, and then made a new sheet cover for the foam pad. We were able to sleep fine with just one foam pad, so we are now just using the one that goes over this this ottoman part. Kind of fills in all those cracks, but also allows you to have something on your legs other than just the vinyl fabric. And so that's ready to go. The other thing that worked really well is the blackout curtain, and I made a new one, because I was planning to use the old one and just cut it down, because now this board that I'm going to hang it from, and I have Velcro on there, so I put the fuzzy side of Velcro on the front of that board so that it wouldn't catch on fabrics that might be pushed in and out of that shelf. If you use the hook side, then you're going to snag things. Now, one of the complaints I'd had about the other blackout curtain that I created to go between the cab and the back of the van was that it stuck to the the hook side of the Velcro, and it was always snagging on it and getting stuck, and that was kind of irritating. So I found a fabric that is slipperier and that doesn't stick to it. But I had intended to use the other panel, but I ended up cutting it short, so I had to go out and buy another one. And the funniest thing happened when I was at the fabric store buying fabric for buying Velcro for this project. I was behind a lady who was getting some kind of quilting fabric, you know, padded stuff cut, and I overheard her say that she was making curtains for her van. And so I kind of went, time out, stop, don't cut anymore. And then I showed her the warm window fabric and told her our experience with making curtains, and gave her all the tips and all that sort of thing. And so she completely changed her project ideas. And she and her boyfriend were doing a conversion in their van. So I hope I helped her with that project. Anyway, so this is ready to go, and it just Velcros right up on that board, and great for keeping out the light and the heat and the cold. And that's an absolute gotta have, I think, for anybody who's traveling in a van. Another failure on this trip, nothing big, these are just little things. These straps that we use to hold our bedding together, I use it on this and also on the duvet cover. And these things come unglued, so that this piece is actually glued to this strap part, the stretchy part. And I think almost every one has failed. They come apart. And so if you have a sewing machine and you use these straps, make sure you do a nice zigzag stitch up and back on that piece so that they won't fail. Several people have asked how the mosquito gear that I bought has worked out. I'd say everything worked out really well, and this thing is absolutely fun. You almost wish that mosquitoes would get in the van so you could zap them. So this is a great thing to have along. The mosquito clothing I only used a couple of times. It was a really light year for mosquitoes in Alaska, and just didn't, you know, if the mosquitoes were bad, we were inside the van really with the screens down and all of that. I taped all of the windows in the van with tape so that they couldn't come through the screens, especially the bathroom screen. There is a design flaw in the screen that goes in the bathroom of the Pleasureway, and let me show it to you. The screen in the bathroom is really loose. You can see how loose it is. It comes right out. And the design flaw is really right down here. These little, you can see though, these little wire loops, they hit up against this metal bar, and so the loops need to be put out farther. So I think that's a design error. So I especially spent some time making sure that that bathroom window was taped up really well. What else? The blackout curtains, they were awesome. I do want to redo them because I discovered when I made them that you need to oversize them slightly. They kind of draw in when you're stitching on that many layers of fabric. So I would like to make them a little bit wider, but they were great for blocking out the light and the heat and the cold, especially in Alaska where it doesn't get dark at night right around the solstice. I'm trying out a new camera. I got a new camera on this trip because GoPro had this deal. You send them an old digital camera. They don't care if it works or not. They don't care what kind it was. And then they would give you $100 off of the GoPro Hero 7. So I got the 7, and that's what's mounted here, and that's what I'm shooting on, and I'm hoping that that will help in some of my recordings in the van. But we did have another failure in a camera, and that was on the Pocket. Not the Pocket Excel failed, but the scroll wheel only worked for 1 week, and then it stopped working. And we were up in the Yukon by then, and there wasn't much I could do about it. So I had to buy a new scroll wheel when we came back. So that was like 70 bucks. Anyway, a couple other things I want to point out that we've done for the van for the next trip. Technomadia recently had a video on gadgets and stuff, and this was one they recommended. This is a Sky Genius oscillating battery operated fan. You plug it in to charge it though, and this thing is awesome. So I purchased that. Oh, it's so hot in here right now. We don't know what the temperature is going to be like where we're going. So I purchased that, and I also purchased some new shoes because I looked at the bottom of my shoes and the tread was really worn out. We really should probably replace our shoes every 400 to 500 miles of walking, and we easily did that on our trip. So I've gotten a new pair of shoes. These have worked out really well, so I bought another pair. And I think that's about it. I'm going to go back to the house and start getting our stuff packed. And John has figured out things he doesn't need. And so he's packing lighter. I'm packing lighter. We don't have as many needs on this trip for weather and mosquitoes and that sort of thing. So hopefully we have a little bit more room. And we are off to Oregon for well, I don't think they call them rally, but I'll just call it a Pleasure Way rally. It's going to be in Baker City, and I've never done one of these things. We went to a road trek rally at Glacier National Park, and that was fun, but I've not done one that's just for Pleasure Way people. So I will let you know how that is and report back. And then after that, we're going to see Oregon Anna and fly our drones, because I got to learn how to fly this stupid drone. And then we're going to spend a couple weeks in the Eastern Sierra enjoying the fall color. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next week.